Good evening. My name is Yisrael Rothwachs, and I have the privilege of serving as the Dean of Sinai Schools. It gives me great pleasure to speak to you tonight about our honorees, Ben and Penina Goldman. There are many among us who are active in their community. Penina, however, takes it to a whole new level. A close family member once described her as a chesed machine, someone who's constantly engaged in acts of kindness. People struggling with a range of challenges seek out Penina's sage guidance, support, and encouragement. She never put up a shingle outside her home, inviting others in to be comforted, but in a very quiet and dignified way, she has become the source of strength for so many, just as her parents, Rabbi and Yehuda, have for others. As a party planner, her attention to detail and the sincerity with which she approaches her clients ensures that their experience will be void of anxiety or frustration and full of joy and nachas. As a psychologist, Ben is dedicated to helping those in need. Ben is the Director of Psychology and Guidance at RYNJ, one of our Sinai partner schools, which is itself a demanding job. In addition, he has his own private practice, maximizing the profound impact that he has on the lives of others in need. Simcha, joy, permeates all that he does, and he skillfully uses his humor and musical talent to draw others closer to one another. As a member of the RYNJ administration, Ben has proven to be a true partner, along with his colleagues, in ensuring the meaningful integration of all members of the school community. He has led the way in creating a school culture that embraces diversity and encourages students to look outside of themselves and seek ways to positively impact others. While the students at Sinai at RYNJ have directly benefited from his initiatives, the truth is that the entire school community is enriched and enlightened because of his efforts. Perhaps most notably, Penina and Ben are the parents of 5 beautiful children. Their oldest, Yehuda, a 10th grader at Sinai at TABC. I remember over 7 years ago sitting with Penina in my office, and she and Ben contemplated enrolling Yehuda in Sinai. I remember the pain that they were experiencing at the time. They recognized that Yehuda needed a top-notch special education school, one that would provide the myriad of supports and therapies from which he could benefit. But they also so badly wanted for him to be part of a Jewish school community, just as his siblings and neighbors were. They couldn't waste any more time. They didn't want to compromise on either priority. They enrolled Yehuda at Sinai, and what they soon learned was Sinai was not a compromise, but rather the ideal. Sinai was not just a Jewish special education school, but rather a recognized and sought-out leader in special education in general. The level of individualization and attention that Yehuda got when he came to Sinai was far more detailed and extensive than what he had received before. And they were overwhelmed with the love and sensitivity the teachers and therapists showed both to him and to them as parents. They appreciated the significance of a team of professionals that approached each child from multiple perspectives and partnered to help get Yehuda from milestone to milestone, a deep collaboration that is active every moment of every day. They soon experienced firsthand how claims of inclusion and individualization are not just part of Sinai's mission, but are guiding influences in every decision that is made. Their fears of compromise and sacrifice were replaced by a strong partnership with and unwavering confidence in the team at Sinai, and even more importantly, the knowledge that their son Yehuda would continue to mature and develop, maximizing his full potential. Now, many years later, the fruits of Penina and Ben's decision are beautiful and sweet. Yehuda is a full and contributing member not only of Sinai, but of the TABC school community, attending Shabbatonim, performing chesed, community service, and deeply engaged and motivated by the study of Torah. At the same time, he has grown into a confident and curious student and a talented and driven member of the larger community, all of which gives me personal nachas. Penina and Ben, thank you for your partnership and friendship, but most of all, thank you for your trust. The leap that you took all those years ago has and will continue to pay high dividends of pride in all that Yehuda continues to accomplish. In fact, we have a special surprise for Ben and Penina tonight. Yehuda has created a special video presentation for his parents and for all of you tonight. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Yehuda Goldman. I'm a 10th grader at Sinai High School at TABC. Let's take a peek at my day. My days at school are very busy, in a good way. I spend lots of time learning in unique ways. One of my many interests is computers. Sinai looks for ways to allow me to use my interests to be productive. For the past 2 years, they set me up at jobs that benefit from my skills in graphic design. I also enjoy everything having to do with art. In architecture class, I got to use my skills when I built a bridge out of popsicle sticks. In halacha class, we use the science of electricity to learn and understand whether electricity on Shabbos is the malacha of fire or a building. I also have many opportunities for real-life learning outside of the classroom. I am preparing for my life as an adult, and I am well on my way. As you can see, I love it here at Sinai. I want to thank my teachers for making class fun and interesting. And most of all, I want to thank my parents for sending me here. Thank you, Mommy and Abba, for sending me to Sinai. Please come up and accept your award.
I was 20 years old when we had Yehuda, just 4 years older than he is now. He was the sweetest little thing I'd ever seen. Like any new mother, I had dreams about the wonderful life my baby would lead. School, yeshiva, college, wedding, career. It was going to be just perfect. But there were also signs from early on that things for our little Yehuda would not be as perfect as we thought. Throughout preschool, Yehuda had trouble both in and out of the classroom. We gave him early intervention, private therapies, and an intensive parent-child therapeutic preschool program. But by pre-1A, he was still struggling in his mainstream class. I knew in my mind that Yehuda would need a different school for first grade, but when our local yeshiva told us, with the best intentions, that Yehuda's needs were beyond what they were set up to handle, I just couldn't accept it. That my child had so many developmental needs, that all of our friends' kids and all of Yehuda's classmates would be going to this school, but Yehuda wouldn't. That my father, Rabbi Yehuda, who has fought for hundreds of children to get a yeshiva education, would have a grandson in public school. It didn't seem possible. It didn't seem fair. I was devastated and ashamed. If only that scared young mother could see herself standing up here today. If only she could see the kind, creative, capable young man her little Yehuda would grow to be. If only she knew then, it's gonna be all right. If I could go back 10 years, I would show myself, that young, scared mother, one thing, that Yehuda would find his place. A place where everyone around him accepts him and believes in him, where he would learn what it's like to work hard and succeed. A place where the people would shower him with attention, love, and patience, and God knows there'd be days they'd need it, and where he would finally start to feel good about the truly wonderful boy that he is. If only I could go back 10 years, I would show that young, scared, overwhelmed version of me a peek into the future I couldn't imagine then. I would show her school plays and slideshows, fractions and friendships, Shacharis and Shabbatons, laughter, and lunch buddies. I would show her Sinai, and she would know it's gonna be all right. I may not be able to go back 10 years and give myself that message, but I do have this chance right now to share it with you. So to every parent and grandparent with a son or daughter who may not fit the regular education mold, I want you to know that it's okay to acknowledge your child might need help. Even if it's their school that is concerned and you're not as convinced, get it checked out, and the earlier the better. It might just be the best thing you ever do for your child. Because for a child who is struggling because he or she needs more support than a mainstream school can provide, being in the wrong school can have devastating long-term effects. And finding the right place for that child where he or she can learn and feel good and shine is a beautiful new beginning. You see, there's a magical place for you called Sinai, filled with amazing children and incredible teachers, therapists, and administrators who are devoted to making sure your child reaches their potential. And as long as they're Sinai, it's gonna be all right. Ben and I are so grateful to Hashem for leading us to Sinai and for the infinite other blessings with which he has filled our lives. We are so grateful to Yehuda for teaching us to never let a child's limitations today blind us to the heights they can reach tomorrow with a little hope and a little help. And we are so grateful to our dear parents for guiding and supporting Yehuda and us every step of the way. We are so grateful to Sinai and to every person there who has worked with Yehuda or with us for helping to change the course of Yehuda's life and the course of our entire family's life as a result. And finally, we are so grateful to every one of you here tonight for making Yehuda's accomplished possible. By supporting Sinai, you have recognized that Sinai serves a critical role for so many families like ours and that the families can't do it alone. You have recognized that every one of our children deserves an education that will help him or her to grow, and you have shown that you believe in the futures of all of our children. Thank you.